of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 824, with 10 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 9 additional cases were reported with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's Tuesday, November 16th. COVID-19 cases are starting to climb again in some parts of our country. White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci says the changes are happening in select regions across the U.S. His comments come just a day after the country reported a 7-day average of more than 82,000 new cases, up 11% from the previous week. Cases nationwide dropped 57% last week compared to the summer peak, but a jump in COVID patients in the Midwest and the Northeast is leading to the sudden spike. Average daily cases jumped by 19% and 37% in the Midwest and Northeast over the last week, respectively. Hospitalizations are up 11% over that same period in the Midwest, while remaining flat in the Northeast. About 47,000 patients with the virus are hospitalized nationwide, and the U.S. sees about 1,150 COVID-19 fatalities every day. Dr. Fauci says America must focus on vaccinating the roughly 60 million people who are still not immunized. That excludes 28 million children ages 5 to 11 who became eligible to get the Pfizer's kid-sized doses. Dr. Fauci adds that those who have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19 can gather for the holiday season without concerns, but he still recommends they wear a mask indoors as a precaution. Despite federal authorities not giving the okay yet for all adults to get a COVID-19 booster shot, leaders in California, New York, and a few other states are saying everyone ages 18 and up that wants a booster shot can get it. Here's a tweet from California Governor Gavin Newsom's office last week after the governor visited LA to push more people to get vaccinated before the holidays. He says more than 25 million Californians are fully vaccinated, and if 6 months have passed since your second dose of a Pfizer or Moderna vaccine dose, or if 2 months have passed since getting the single Johnson & Johnson shot, every Californian adult can get a booster. A similar messaging came from Dr. Dave Choksi, Commissioner of the NYC Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, who also issued a commissioner's advisory reminding providers not to deny anyone who wants that added protection. The formal authorization from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration can come as early as next week, but state officials are making the decisions to allow all adults to get the extra shot ahead of a travel-packed Thanksgiving weekend. Many people are expected to gather with family and friends in large groups not seen since the beginning of the pandemic, and health officials say they want people to have that added layer of protection. Nursing homes can now have more visitors with less restrictions. The new guidance from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services instructs nursing homes to allow visits at all times for all residents. Facilities no longer have to limit the frequency and length of visits or require advanced scheduling. Although large groups of visitors are discouraged, nursing homes will not be allowed to limit the number of loved ones and friends who visit. Nationally, vaccination rates average 86% for nursing home residents and 73% for staff, although that can vary from state to state and facility to facility. Although federal authorities eased many of the remaining pandemic restrictions last Friday, it's unclear how they would work with local and state requirements that may be more restrictive. Nursing home representatives say the facilities, the residents, and their loved ones will all have to work together to make sure that visits are occurring and occurring safely. A long-term study of the impacts of COVID-19 on children is getting underway. The National Institutes of Health is enrolling its first participants at the Clinical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, ranging from 3 to 21-year-olds. The Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. will also recruit participants ranging from birth to 21 years. Researchers will track a total of up to 1,000 children and young adults who previously tested positive for COVID-19 and evaluate the impact of the virus on their physical and mental health over a span of 3 years. Study participants will also be evaluated on their long-term immune responses to the disease and get screened for genetic factors that may affect how they respond to the coronavirus infection. The study is expected to provide a detailed picture of COVID-19's effects on the overall health of the kids, their development, and their overall quality of life in the years following the infection. The research is part of NIH's Researching COVID to Enhance Recovery initiative to better understand the long-term consequences of the SARS-CoV-2 infection. Many children among the 6 million who reported pediatric COVID-19 cases in the U.S. experienced significant acute and long-term effects of the disease. Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is also the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, says their investigations into the pediatric population will deepen their understanding of the public health impact that the pandemic has had and will continue to have in the months and years to come. Pfizer signed a deal to allow other companies to make its experimental COVID-19 pill. The pill is called Paxlovid, and it's an antiviral drug that is to be given in combination with an older antiviral drug called ritonavir. Earlier this month, Pfizer announced its trial results, saying an interim analysis showed an 89% reduction in the risk of hospitalization or death from COVID-19 among people given the drug within the first 3 days of symptom onset. Pfizer signed a licensing agreement with the Medicines Patent Pool, a United Nations-backed public health organization, to allow broader access to its drug. The agreement allows generic manufacturers to make the pill widely available in 95 low and middle income countries, covering 53% of the world's population. Pfizer issued a statement saying that they, quote, will not receive royalties on sales in low-income countries and will further waive royalties on sales in all countries covered by the agreement, while COVID-19 remains classified as a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization. Pfizer announced today that it is seeking emergency use authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for Paxlovid. COVID-19 numbers are rising again in Europe, leading some countries to take drastic measures to curb the spread. The World Health Organization tweeted last Friday that almost 2 million cases of COVID-19 were reported in Europe in the previous week, the most in a single week in that region since the pandemic began. And Europe saw close to 27,000 deaths during that same period. That's more than half of all COVID-19 deaths globally. Responding to the grim news, Austria placed about 2 million of its unvaccinated people on partial lockdown. The mandate allows them to leave home only for work, grocery stores, or emergencies, and police are conducting spot checks of digital vaccine certificates. A similar lockdown was put in place in Germany's capital of Berlin. The country also reintroduced free coronavirus testing, and soon anyone taking public transit in Germany may have to provide proof of vaccination or a recently taken negative COVID-19 test. German leaders are considering the requirement of such rules on buses, trains, and workplaces in an effort to lower the virus transmission rate. Some of the other European countries already require passengers to provide proof of vaccination or testing for long-distance travel on public transport. German leaders are expected to vote this Thursday on a new draft law. Small business owners in LA County have another opportunity to get some financial aid. The county has a rent relief program that grants up to $40,000 to small businesses that meet these criteria. They must have a brick and mortar location in unincorporated LA County. They must have an annual gross revenue of less than $1 million. They must have an annual average number of 9 or fewer full-time employees, and they must have rent that was past due as of March 4, 2020. Applications will be accepted starting tomorrow through November 24th. There is a webinar going on right now. To sign up or to learn more about the program, you can go to ndconline.org HONDA.com/LACSBRR or call 626-210-4500. Honda announced this week that it successfully tested a prototype autonomous work vehicle. The company teamed up with Black & Veatch, a global engineering company, to test the vehicle at its solar construction site in New Mexico. The second-generation prototype performed a wide range of functions in a rugged off-road setting, including towing and transporting construction materials, water, and other supplies to preset destinations within the work site. The month-long field test included deploying multiple units to work collaboratively to support construction use cases. The unique vehicle has a lot of sensors, a GPS, a radar, and multiple 3D cameras to get the job done. It can also be operated by a remote control. A Honda official says with their test partner Black & Veatch, they were able to demonstrate the performance of their rugged, all-electric autonomous work vehicle prototype in a large-scale construction environment. They believe it has the potential to bring greater efficiencies, higher levels of safety, and better environmental performance to the construction industry and to other industries seeking an autonomous off-road solution. Honda has not announced commercialization plans yet for its autonomous work vehicle, but continues to advance the platform through field testing. Honda's American headquarters is right here in Torrance. A no-burn alert was issued for today. The South Coast Air Quality Management District issued the residential alert through 11:59 p.m. Officials remind residents that burning wood in their fireplaces or any indoor or outdoor wood-burning device is prohibited during this time. The no-burn rule prohibits burning wood as well as manufactured fire logs, such as those made from wax or paper. South Coast AQMD asked Southern Californians to do their part to help keep the air clean by not burning wood during the ban period. No-burn days are mandatory in order to protect public health when fine particulate air pollution in the region is forecast to be high. Smoke from wood burning can cause health problems, and particles in the wood smoke can get deep into the lungs and cause respiratory issues, including asthma attacks. Residents can learn more and sign up to get alerts on future no-burn days at airalerts.org. Santa Claus could use your help this year to spread some holiday cheer. Operation Santa has been around for more than 100 years at the U.S. Postal Service, and it's kicking off again soon. The program allows children and families in need to write a letter to the North Pole describing what they want for Christmas. Volunteers act as Santa's helpers and buy and send that gift to the child or their family directly. Volunteers who wish to adopt a letter can sign up now at USPSOperationSanta.com. They can do this alone or as part of a team. The mailroom for letters to Santa formally opens November 29th with a postmark deadline of December 10th. Children and families can send their letters to 123 Elf Road, North Pole 88888. The Postal Service reminds letter writers to include their full name as well as a first-class stamp to ensure it gets to its intended destination. Torrance City Council members head back inside the chambers tonight to conduct city business. Among the agenda items to be discussed include a proclamation declaring November 27, 2021 as Small Business Saturday in the city of Torrance. There will also be a recommendation of the Cultural Arts Commission and the Community Services Director to approve the appointment of a Poet Laureate and Youth Poet Laureate. And council members will review a recommendation by the Torrance Transit Department to approve its participation in the Regional Fairless System Initiative Pilot Project. These items and much more will be discussed tonight, and while the council chamber will be closed to the public in the interest of maintaining appropriate social distancing and helping to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19, the public can participate before the meeting tonight by emailing councilmeetingpubliccomment@torranceca.gov or by calling in during the meeting. You can watch the meeting live on our website, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, right here on City Cable beginning at 6:30 p.m. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The Torrance Unified School District will be hosting COVID-19 vaccination and booster clinics for students ages 5 and older. They're planning to do this on a couple of Wednesdays, the first one tomorrow, November 17th, and then on December 8th. You have to register in advance to receive an appointment time. Just go to tinyurl.com/TUSDVax. The password is TVaxed. Once you register for your first appointment, you will receive an email notification to register for your second appointment. The clinics will be held at the Family Welcome Enrollment Center parking lot. The address is 2336 Plaza del Amo. Make sure to go to the lower lot from 12 noon to 5 p.m. The vaccine clinics are open to all students, their families, and staff members. TUSD students are not mandated to get vaccinated at this time, but school officials say getting as many eligible individuals vaccinated as possible is a critical strategy in preventing the spread of COVID-19 and keeping our students in schools. What a great way to keep our community safe and protected from COVID-19. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, photo, or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.